I need to tell you who I really was before you decide who I am. Because the man history remembers is not the whole truth. The whole truth is worse and stranger and maybe closer to you than you think. My name was Simon. I was a fisherman on the Sea of Galilee. Nothing more. My hands were rough from nets, my back bent from hauling catches before sunrise. I had a wife, a mother-in-law I fed, a boat that was my whole world, and a life I expected to end exactly where it began, on that same water, among the same nets. I did not go looking for anything larger than the next day's catch. Then a man walked along the shore and told me to follow him. I want to be honest with you. I do not fully know why I did it. He had no army, no wealth, no title, just a voice that made the water and the boat and the fish suddenly feel small. He gave me a new name that day, Peter, the Rock. I remember laughing about it later with the others, because if you had known me, you would have laughed too. I was many things back then, but steady was not one of them. For 3 years I watched him do what I still struggle to put into ordinary words. I watched a storm go still at his command. I watched a boy's small lunch feed thousands. I called him the Messiah out loud, the first of us to say it, and he told me that truth had not come from my own mind, but from something far above it. And still, underneath all of it, I was afraid of almost everything. Afraid of sinking, afraid of storms, afraid, though I did not know it yet, of exactly the moment that was coming for me. He told me once that before a rooster crowed twice, I would deny him 3 times. I told him he was wrong, that my loyalty was stronger than any fear. I told him I would follow him to prison, even to death, before I would ever turn away from him. I was wrong. The night it happened, we ate together one last time, though I did not know yet that it was the last. We had shared meals like this for 3 years, 12 of us crowded around him, arguing, laughing, learning. This one felt different from the moment we sat down. He took bread, broke it, and said things about his body and his blood that none of us understood in that room. I remember feeling uneasy without knowing why, as if the air itself had changed. Then he said it again, plainer this time. Before the rooster crows twice, Peter, you will deny me 3 times. I stood up. I raised my voice louder than I should have. I told him he was wrong, that I would go to prison for him, that I would die before I ever turned away from him. He only looked at me, not with anger, with something closer to sorrow, like he already knew how the night would end for both of us, and grieved it in advance. Later, in a garden called Gethsemane, he asked me to stay awake with him while he prayed. Just 1 hour. I could not do even that. I fell asleep, woke to his voice asking why, and fell asleep again. 3 times he found me sleeping when he needed me most, and each time I promised myself it would not happen again. Then came the torches, soldiers, priests, a crowd moving through the olive trees toward us, more men than I had ever seen sent for one unarmed teacher. I panicked. I drew a sword and struck a man's ear. He healed it in front of me, calm in the middle of chaos, then told me to put the blade away. I did not understand him. I only knew that everything was slipping out of my hands, faster than I could hold on to it, and there was nothing left in me strong enough to stop it. They took him away into the darkness, and I stood among the trees for a moment, frozen, watching the torchlight disappear down the path before my legs finally decided for me. I ran. I followed at a distance, close enough to see, far enough to stay hidden, and I told myself that was courage. It was not. It was the last thin thread between running away completely and staying near him at all. Every other one of us had already scattered into the dark. I told myself I was different, that staying nearby proved something. I was wrong about that too. They took him into the high priest's courtyard, and I slipped in after the others, sitting by a fire with strangers to keep warm in the cold night air. A servant girl looked at me across the flames and said she recognized me, that I had been with the man from Galilee. I said I did not know what she was talking about. My voice sounded steady. My hands were not. A little later, someone else pointed at me. "You are one of them," he said. And again I said no, this time louder, as if volume could make the lie truer than it was. Then a third voice, a relative of the man whose ear I had struck in the garden, looked straight at me. "I saw you there," he said. I swore this time. Actual curses. The kind of words I had not used since before I ever met him. I said I did not know the man. I did not know him. And that was the exact moment the rooster crowed. I froze. Somewhere across that courtyard, guards were dragging him past on his way to another room, another judgment, and for one unbearable second, his eyes found mine. He did not have to say a word. I remembered every promise I had made at that table 3 nights before, and I understood all at once exactly what I had just done. I went outside into the cold, empty street, and I wept. Not quiet tears. The kind that come from somewhere you did not know was still breakable inside you. The kind that no one can hear from far away, but that hollow you out completely from the inside.